Sweet and Sour is a seemingly simple rom-com playing on ideas surrounding long-distance relationships. The movie opens with Da-yoon helping Hyuk early on overcome the stigma surrounding jaundice patients. In exchange, he helps her take breaks at the hospital, and the two form an unlikely bond. Da-yoon eventually buys Hyuk some running shoes as a gift. He vows to get in better shape and promises to run until he's fit as the camera then pans down to these shoes. We see a seamless transition to a character we assume is the same patient from the hospital. This seems to indicate that Hyuk lost his weight and managed to win over the girl. This sets up a tale about the difficulties of long-distance relationships and how hard they can be to sustain. But there's a twist, more on that to come. Who is Lee Jang-hyuk? As we come to learn, Hyuk and Lee Jang-hyuk are two different people. This Lee Jang-hyuk is who we follow after panning down to the shoes. He's the one who's in a relationship with Da-yoon, having met over a year prior to the jaundice patient incident in hospital. However, all is not right with their relationship. With Da-yoon working long shifts at the hospital and Lee Jang-hyuk transferred to the main office, the pair start to grow apart. That's made all the more difficult by the revelation that Jang-hyuk was actually on the verge of asking her to marry him. The turbulent year the pair share is what's showcased in the film, as Jang-hyuk travels between the city and office for his job. He eventually spends more and more time at the office, leaving Da-yoon alone and needing someone to rely on. Unfortunately, this is made all the worse by Jang-hyuk's co-worker Bo-young starting to take a fancy in him and trying to win over her colleague. Jang-hyuk remains loyal though, and despite some obvious attraction between the pair, stays strong. Lee Jang-hyuk and Da-yoon break up. The distance soon takes its toll on Jang-hyuk, who ends up losing his enthusiasm and always coming home tired. He's got little time for Da-yoon, and this sets up the beginning of the end for the pair. And then it happens. Jang-hyuk calls Da-yoon by Bo-young's name. Oof, this is made even worse, given it comes off the back of Da-yoon's reveal about her pregnancy and subsequent abortion. The two eventually break up, with both complaining about being tired and going their separate ways. Their relationship severed, Lee Jang-hyuk begins dating Bo-young instead. The two get along well, but when Bo-young points out a child and makes it clear she wants children, Jang-hyuk finds his mind wandering over to Da-yoon again. This eventually hits breaking point when Jang-hyuk receives a reminder about the Christmas vacation the two of them had planned. Da-yoon hasn't cancelled their trip to Jeju Island either. Believing he still has a chance, Jang-hyuk grabs his ring and prepares to make a big gesture at the airport. He tries proposing to her with the same ring she sent back to him. What's the twist? It's here that Jang-hyuk bumps into Jang-hyuk. Yep, there's two of them. The difference comes from the hyphen, which reaffirms that these are two different people. For clarity, we'll refer to our jaundice patient as Hyuk. Jang-hyuk's over-reliance on work caused their relationship to become strained and inadvertently pushed Da-yoon toward her new patient in hospital, Hyuk. She's been using him as a substitute replacement for Jang-hyuk. Every time Jang-hyuk cancelled on her, she turned to Hyuk to keep her company. He's the one who helped change the light bulbs, cuddle her and offer reassurance when Jang-hyuk failed to do so. How does Sweet and Sour end? This catches us up to the moments just prior to the big twist. Da-yoon takes one last long look at Jang-hyuk before turning her back and heading inside with Hyuk. They have their bags packed and seem to be en route to Jeju Island. She's taking him instead and leaving Jang-hyuk behind. Only, Da-yoon is clearly not 100% happy either, sighing loudly and asking Hyuk to take her suitcase. The last shot of our protagonist sees Da-yoon sitting on a bench in deep thought, just prior to her flight. Meanwhile, Jang-hyuk heads back to his silver trophy Bo-young. She's won the work competition to fly over to Jeju Island. As he sits in quiet contemplation, he tries to work out when his relationship fell apart, eventually shifting the blame to his boss. Not once does Jang-hyuk take responsibility for his own actions. Instead, he hastily decides to propose to Bo-young. She rejects him though, claiming it's way too soon for her. She has plans of her own, which include going abroad to study and upgrade her profile. It's poetically ironic, given Bo-young is doing to him exactly what Jang-hyuk has done to Da-yoon. As he realizes this, Jang-hyuk reflects back on his choices and curses. Does Sweet and Sour have a happy ending? Yes and no. The title reflects back on the themes. In the end, this twist works to show Jang-hyuk has been so fixated on work that he's neglected his relationship completely. You have to invest time and energy into making love work, and that's not something Jang-hyuk was willing to do. Instead, both Da-yoon and Jang-hyuk find themselves drifting apart completely, leaving the prospects of what could have been a distant memory. Thanks for listening to our Ending Explained article. What did you think of Sweet and Sour's ending? Did that twist catch you off guard? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.